What's good? It's your boy Czar, all rights reserved. Let's get into it. Hip Hop Homicides, episode 6 of season 1, XXXTENTACIon. So, I watched it multiple times, just like I watched the documentary multiple times. Look at me now. Look at me. Excuse me, not look at me now. Look at me. So, here's my issue with you guys sitting down talking. Number one, the thing is, just like a lot of these other artists, I said, as I was saying, friendship and people directly around you watching how you move is the easiest way to set somebody up. So I was like, why didn't the investigation go to people right around him and people get insight into what people were doing? Lo and behold, for 2 years, 2.5 years about, I did the series. No one ever said anything that Solomon said at the end, and we'll talk about that at the end. He didn't even say that. You didn't mention that at any given time, but you hop up on this, on WeTV, and you gonna say that he could have potentially allegedly set something up. Because they asked you, how do you think things happen? And you're gonna mention him. I was like, that was just the dumbest thing, the craziest thing. But here's the reason I mentioned friends around. And then they supported me by coming out with a video with his baby mother in it, with Scheme. He sat there and said, the homies are my homies. Diedrich and them were not your homies at all. But these are the guys they're alleging did it. So do you know something we don't? Obviously you do. Because to say that, you would have to have something that no one else knows. Who else says that? Declares the people who could have potentially been involved, the homies are my homies. That was crazy. I called it out. Everyone seen me call it out. Views more than enough that all y'all saw it. None of y'all said anything. None of y'all checked them. None of y'all stood up there. Nobody openly checked them. Maybe offline, but he went online and said it. None of y'all said anything. That's crazy to me. It's not fair. Like, why would you do that? If you know somebody who allegedly did something to your friend that was a cash cow, and you directly know, what level of fear is it? This guy that made sure you ate, made sure you had food, made sure you were around him, you were good. And what do you do in return? You don't even give up the homies of my homies that you're alleging in that interview with Jen. That makes no sense. We're not even going to look at you as credible at the moment because that made no sense. And you're not standing on it. I don't know why you said that if you didn't mean it. That's the thing. Yo, people sometimes say things they don't mean to say. Then they think about it in hindsight like, dang, I shouldn't have said that then. And I believe that's one of them situations and you got caught up in it and admitted something you shouldn't have ever admitted. Then it gets even deeper. Because if his body's in the casket and he had a funeral and all this stuff happened, all these people mourned him, why would that even be something to come out of my mouth? It's just like, did he accidentally tell the truth? It makes you wonder, what is he doing? Why would he say that? Then it gets crazier looking at Scheme's video and matching it up with your video and connecting all the dots on all the conversation and topics we discussed. Did they all tell the truth? Because if you put their things together they said, that lines up. If I put what Scheme said together with what Solomon said, and then what this person said, that person said, behind the scenes, openly, it lines up. So what am I supposed to think? I told you, when y'all talk, y'all tell it. Y'all tell it all. All people got to do is be smart enough to read between the lines. Your doublespeak is too weak to defeat somebody who's really looking critically at what's being said about a subject that they're looking into. It's cut and dry. Honestly, you gave the jokes up. It made no sense. I don't know why you even did that. So when I'm listening to this interview and he said that on Hip Hop Homicides, I'm like, is he snitching? Because you were his buddy right beside him. Understand, in order to snitch, you got to be complicit with a crime someone does or an action. I got to be part of it. So if I'm part of it and I tell on a situation, I'm a snitch. So what's going on? Confusing me. Then he announced there's going to be another documentary and thing. Like, that's why I don't even give it energy like that. Because it's about, I get it, financial recognition, building a brand, making profitability of a company. He still has a record label that he had to appease. I get it. But at the same time, the things you say in it need to make sense. Like, it's not making sense. Except if I put together what you and another person right beside him said, that makes perfect sense to me. That I can admit. That made perfect sense to me. But obviously, they're out here being detectives and don't know what they're doing. But when you're talking to a real person who knows how to solve crimes, who has experience in dealing with situations, debunking things like this, that's when you get exposed. And I get it. That's why you were all so mad. Because I'm no dummy sitting here just sulking, not listening to stuff. I'm talking to everybody objectively, not swaying one way to another. I'm listening to the whole picture. And the picture painted, when you look at all the moving parts, paints a very gritty and realistic picture. And then you guys are so scared to talk about the beef he had with people. I noticed that. We mentioned everything. You guys didn't even want to talk about situations like that. That's why I truly feel it hit closer to home than we think. It hit closer to home than we think. Because there's no way that you got up there and you didn't acknowledge the fact he had problems with people. That's insane to me. I was like, really? Therefore, I'm going to allegedly say somebody knows more than they're putting on. I don't know who, because everybody's telling different stories. Somebody knows more than they're putting on. And that's a fact. So who would be the people that know more? It got to be the people right around you. You're looking at the people right around them, getting up, talking, explaining things. So it is a cut and dry picture for me. Somebody's lowballing him when he done gave all this financial backing to you. He done financially funded half of you. And you guys are squatting on him like it didn't matter. Just say a name then. If you're going to say the homies, my homies, don't be scared to say a name. Or don't say nothing. Don't say nothing at all. Or say a name. Because you're insinuating, leading them to think that there's someone else, there's more to it. That's what you did. For detectives. Just help them. Just run down to the station instead of saying the homies, my homies. Run to the station. Because that's not right. That's dry snitching. And I'm saying, if you are involved in something, just be quiet then. Why would you even talk about it if you were involved? Why talk about it? All you do is bring attention to yourself. Not the type you want. But it's definitely lawful attention. If they're smart. Saying, wait, let me recheck this evidence. Wait, let me re-listen to this story. Wait, what did they say in interrogation? Wait, how many other people were there? If they're not moving like that, I don't know what they're doing. Because you definitely brought to anybody who has experience as an authoritative position, that would have been the biggest red flag in the world. Son, I would have been at each of y'all doors confiscating y'all to interrogate you because you know something. You're playing dumb, but you know something. To say the things you're saying. Nobody says those things at all. Not even in the other shows they had did they say anything like that. And to be objective, I did each story to show you I can tell you that. No one said what you said. And it's very telling. You told on yourself. And what did I tell you? I told them, y'all should stop getting up speaking. And this is me being kind. Kind. Stop getting up speaking. Because every time y'all get up, y'all tell on yourself. Did it once again. Them for the win. Tell on yourself. Just go down and say, I did it. I know. Raise your hand and say you're guilty or something. Like, why are you telling all this stuff that you didn't say before when it first was asked? You're either making it look like a clown show, some type of circus show, or you're telling the truth accidentally. There's either or. There's no in between. Either or. And he done looked out for y'all. Yo, he done held y'all down. That's crazy. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. They messed up. They messed up. They should have kept it at the documentaries. Just get publicity, posting your documentaries coming out. You ain't got to get up and talk on the show. Write what you're going to say. Your freestyle ability ain't there. Because it's not there. You guys keep messing it up. I don't know what y'all doing. All rights reserved.